Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to a new edition of Urban Sentinel Live. And you in for a treat tonight. This being the first show of the new year, the first show of 2021. I've got in the house tonight Papa Joe Aviance, all the way from Hollywood. That's right, Hollywood, not Hollywood, Maryland, but Hollywood, California, okay? So this guy is a phenomenal guy. He's got a great story. When I first was put in contact with him, I looked at his YouTube video. Brother has a story, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's why I was promoting heavily today, because I wanted you all to turn in and to watch it tonight. A great show. Like I said, Papa Joe, he's a successful entrepreneur from Hollywood, California. He's a recording artist, and he's a 2-time Amazon bestseller. Did I tell the whole story, Papa Joe?
Yes,
Joe.
you did. Happy New Year, Reggie. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you, man. But look, Papa Joe, I'm sorry. I keep thinking Papa John Peace, and that's why I say
He's thinking of food.
Hey, look, I did
we make that mistake all the time.
Yeah, I did a promo today, man, and I was going back listening to it after I posted it, and it said Papa. I said, "Lord, how much? Let me go back. I got Papa John Peace on my mind."
No worries, I get that all the time. People just
I know, man. I know.
That was part of my problem.
Yeah. Well, look, Papa Joe, how things going, man? How things going?
You know what? Things are good. Things are good. You know what? Aside from my story, just trying to survive and stay healthy through this whole COVID madness, but definitely ready to bring forth some changes and bring on the new year and continue to share the story.
Yeah. I tell you, gosh, man, you guys got it rough out there, man. I'm sending up prayers for you guys every night. Because it's tough out there. California is off the map. I was looking at the news tonight, and
they said like one in every 6 people, 1 in every 5 people get it out here.
Yeah.
And now we've got the new virus. Now we've got the new virus on top of it. I'm like, oh boy. So believe me, I'm trying to do everything I can to stay safe. In my little bubble, so to speak.
I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. I was looking at the news tonight. They were talking to a mortician, and they just showed her funeral home right now, how packed it was. And they also, she told the reporter she's turned away, about 1,000 people a day are calling her.
Wow.
She can't do the work, man. So we're in a tough situation now. Prayerfully, this is going to end, and we know it's going to end. When. So you're right, man. We got to keep our guards up, and got to wear the mask.
We just got to hunker down. But you know what? But aside from that, what? I'm hearing a lot of people talking about that whole quarantine 15. People are gaining weight and not really taking care of themselves. So this is an opportunity, really, to stay focused.
Yeah.
And really bring in the new year.
Tell me about your journey. How did you get to where you are now? What got you started? Why? Just tell us the beginning. Take us to the beginning.
Well, very much so. Aside from, I used to work on Wall Street and 2 suitcases and a dream. After 9/11 happened, went out to Hollywood, California with this dream of being an actor. Gave up the corporate lifestyle, started working odd jobs and stuff like that. A music producer walked into a video store and said, "I like your voice and I want to record it." And he was this famous DJ who I had looked up on the internet when it first came out. And he basically changed my life. And it was something that I've been listening to. Music's always been a passion of mine growing up. But he said, I want to use your voice to make music. And I was signed to a label in 10 minutes. And my very first song became a top 10 Billboard Dance Hit called "Last Night a DJ Saved My Life," and the rest has been history after that.
Wait.
Last night a DJ Saved My Life. I did the club version. I did the club version though.
Yeah, everybody's heard this song. Everybody's okay.
But I was featured on that song, and the label contacted me and said that they wanted it was going to be a Billboard. So my very first single ever became a top 10 Billboard Dance Hit. But when I saw myself in the video, that's when I said I had to make a change. I've been heavy all of my life. And at that point, you know, the label's telling me, oh, you've got a chance to do, you know, your first single's going to be on a Billboard chart. And I'm up against, you know, Christina Aguilera, Beyonce, and all these other people. I'm like, are you kidding me? And you look like that? So my wake-up call really was seeing myself in this video and having the opportunity to do music, and came back into my life. And so I changed.
Well, how much at that time, Papa Joe? How much were you weighing?
I was weighing 450 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, here we go, right here. Here we go.
Oh, man. Okay. So with that weight, how was your health, man? You know, as far as being able to take a walk or do the things you had to do every day, how were you feeling during that time?
You know what? I was miserable. I was uncomfortable, unhappy, and unhealthy. I didn't like the way that I looked at the time. I didn't feel like, you know, I was always being judged for the way that I looked, being heavy all the time, and also not being able to do the things that I was missing out on life that I wanted to do, that I'm able to do now. You know, but at the time back then, I was miserable. I just had low self-esteem. I didn't like myself. I just was miserable. I was down in the dumps. I put on a good face, you know, put on a happy face. It was like, oh yeah, everything's great. You know, I was the happy-go-lucky guy at the time, but it was just, I was miserable. I'm not gonna lie.
So whose door did you knock on at that time, you know, to get yourself started? Who did you turn to?
My own. I mean, I'm not trying to be conceited or anything like that, but really I had to, because I had to ask myself, all right, what was the easiest exercise that you're gonna do? And I said walking. And then I had to change my eating habits. I had no nutritional background whatsoever. So I grabbed a food pyramid off the food pyramid table off the internet and said, okay, everything on here, good, everything else bad. So I literally started from scratch and, you know, just basically relied on myself and my own instincts to do what I needed to do.
Right. Well, you saved a lot of money because there are a lot of companies out here that, you know, help people with, you know, losing weight, like Weight Watchers and Nutrisystem and companies like that. You know, either you can go, being out of Hollywood, you probably could have went and hired a nutritionist, you know, to help you prepare meals and all that kind of stuff. So that's great that you were able just to say, I'm gonna do this myself.
I had to learn on my own. Say I kept it simple. You know, I call it keep it simple, stupid. You know, and that's what it was. Just simple steps, and started from scratch. You know, and just had to figure out, because one of the myths that I so-called broke was that, you know, it costs a lot to eat healthy. And I lost all of it by shopping for healthy foods at a 99-cent store.
Yeah,
proving that you don't have to be wealthy to eat healthy.
Right. Well, tell me about that, because I've been in the 99-cent store, dollar store. Tell me, what kind of foods were you picking up when you went into the 99-cent store?
Definitely a lot of fruits and vegetables, spinach, lots of fruits and vegetables, apples, oranges, salads that I was getting at the time, bags of salads that I was getting at the time, but it was all for $1. You know, a lot of 99-cent stores, I'm gonna just tell your audience out there are a lot of 99-cent stores that do not carry what this 99-cent store does. There are only 4 locations in 4 different states. So this 99-cent store carries fruits and vegetables. And when I walked in there, it was literally like the pearly gates opened up. It was like, oh, you know, and I was able to survive on $40 a week eating stuff like that.
Man,
I mean, they had all the other stuff, junk food stuff there too, but I was able to survive on just the fruits and vegetables that they had there, and you know, like oatmeal and stuff like that. But that's just stuff that I picked up, you know, on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, and was able to break it down to about $21 a day, like $7 a day for the food. A meal.
So after the first 30 days of doing this diet, and you jumped on the scale, what were you weighing after the first 30 days? How much weight had you lost after the first 30 days?
I think the first 30 days I lost like 15 pounds because I went hardcore. I used to eat 7,000 calories a day and I went down to like 2,000. I went hardcore. So like literally my breakfast consists of like a spinach omelet, fruits and water. And sometimes, you know, like cottage cheese yogurts and stuff like that. And then lunches were like nuts and stuff like that, and making trail mix. And then I'd have a salad for lunch and then dinner. But that was the daily routine. But as far as sorry, your question. Sorry, I got sidetracked on your question. About so sorry. Could you repeat your question? Because
Yeah, you did answer. I was asking the question about when you got on the scale after the first 30 days.
Yeah, how much I weigh? 15 pounds.
Yeah,
that was
but
the
that's
first.
good.
Yeah,
Now,
but I mean, it was because of what I was eating and the change in what I was eating. But I was able to lose the weight quick.
Okay.
Whereas because I went hardcore from
Mhm.
eating 7,000 calories to 2,000 a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Right. Also, I gave up soda too. That was another thing that I did too, and that's when the weight really dropped off when I gave up soda.
Yeah, I'll tell you, having soda, that's people don't understand. Sodas are the biggest reason you gain weight when you drink a lot of sodas. And then once you put out them sodas, and if you stick with water, you can tell the difference the next day. Before the week is out, you can tell the difference. Now, what type of exercise?
Yeah, I do juices and stuff like that, but I know sodas. Right. I don't touch sodas or anything like that.
Now, what type of exercises were you doing during that time?
At the time was walking. And then that elevated to hiking, biking, and a lot of other things. But it started off with walking, and really it was just one time around the block. And then I was drenched in sweat, and then I just kept going at it. Day 2, day 3, just kept going a little bit further. But my motivation at the time was getting the Billboard magazines. As it went up in the charts, I would walk to a further newsstand. And by the time I started walking, my regular routine would be up to 5 miles a day.
Okay, great. So tell me about the day that you finally reached the goal that you were seeking to reach. Tell me about the joy in that day when you finally got where you were going on your journey.
I'd say the day that I reached my goal, I'm still not there.
I'm
going through changes now. I'm going through changes now with something that I'm working with now. But the goal is I'm always like willing to learn and willing to learn. So I'm always, as far as growing, that will continue to keep going. But as far as the goal, when I did lose the weight and I'm basically maintaining right now. I went skydiving. That was one of the first things I did. That was one of the things on my bucket list that I crossed off.
Yeah, I saw that on your YouTube video. I said, oh wow, look at my man. He's jumping out of an airplane. I tell you, look, don't tell nobody, Papa Joe. That's on my bucket list too.
Do it, please. Go jump. Please do it.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list.
You will enjoy yourself. Trust me.
Really want to do it. So okay, so you start this journey. You worked very hard at it. You went from where you were to where you are now, in between. So tell me, how did the quote unquote celebrity portion started coming about? Because I know you've done a number of TV shows, and I think you did Rachael Ray too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did Rachael Ray, the doctors. I've done the whole circuit, to be honest with you. Basically, when my story broke, everyone just kind of picked up on it, and just had the opportunity to share it with others and inspire others to hope get out there and live a healthier and active lifestyle. With that, I became the brand ambassador for the 99-cent only stores, kind of like their Jared, so to speak, for Sunday, but on the good side.
Please, be on the good side now.
Okay. And then also I worked with the American Heart Association. I became a brand ambassador for them. So really, to be honest with you, it's been life-changing, because just having the opportunity not only to share the story, but also to be able to give back and motivate and inspire other people to live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Right.
No one says you got to have 6-pack or anything like that, but just be active, or just be healthy. That's it. That's pretty much what I preach. Practice what I preach.
And especially in the African American community, we don't do a good job of eating healthy and taking care of ourselves as far as exercising and watching the foods that we eat. We tend to, hey, look, if you're from down south, you know what you're gonna eat. You're just gonna eat, okay? And I mean, I'm even guilty of not, eating the foods I really need to eat. This year, I mean, I've started off good. I think, I'm watching what I'm eating. I've been in the gym every day this year.
Good. How do you feel so far?
Last year, and I'm gonna keep on going. So
good. How do you feel so far?
Oh, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. I got do some work on stomach and stuff like that, but I feel good with what I'm doing.
Hey, you got to take it one day at a time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. So tell me, what kind of advice can you give to us? Okay, because I don't know if you can see the scroll just now. Joanne Ward was saying that was talking about how diabetes and sodas and not eating right leads to diabetes. So talk to us about what we can do, especially in the African American community, to have healthy lifestyles when it comes to eating.
You know what? I'm gonna break it down like this: fruits and vegetables, low protein or high protein meats like chicken, beef, or seafood, and plenty of water, and trail mix and nuts and just the healthier items, things. It's really about the 90. They say the general rule of thumb as far as nutrition goes, it's 90% nutrition. As far as fitness goes, it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. That's pretty much the rule of thumb. So really focus on the nutrition as far as just getting your fruits and vegetables, having your high protein meats, as far as your fish, your seafood, your chicken, your beef, and just trying to cut out on the sweets. That's one thing that I did. I have a very bad sweet tooth, but for 6 months I had to give it up.
Man, that's the toughest part.
I mean, and to be honest with you, and just the number one rule, you gotta want it. You gotta want it to change. I can't make you do it. You have to want to do it for you, and then just to figure out your why. That's one of the things that I wrote in the book right here, even called Balancing the Scales right here. It's not about the weight that you lose; it's about the life that you gain.
Right. So tell me about your book. Tell me about.
Oh, it's basically a book of kind of like I said, the motto is it's not about the weight that you lose; it's about the life that you gain. It's kind of like coupled with my stories of how I lost the weight and where my mind was starting from one point and where it's at today. But it's to kind of hopefully help others to avoid any pitfalls that I've kind of gone through in my life, so that they can be motivated and inspired to live a healthy and active lifestyle for themselves.
Right. Well, man, I tell you, you've been on a great journey that can give all of us some hope that we can do better when with ourselves.
I mean, we can again, but we gotta want it. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. You really gotta want it, and you gotta want to do it, and you're gonna face some hard times. You're gonna challenge yourself. I always say you ain't gotta go 100%. Start with 1%. So if there's something that you feel that it's not healthy for you, that you need to give up, start with 1%. Give that up first before you gotta give it. Even so, you say you gotta go cold turkey and give up everything. But at least start with 1% and try that out for a while and see, and just trying to break those bad habits and cycle through, and follow through. And then eventually, your mind's going to be in the right place and you're making better decisions. I mean, there are times where, of course, I want a burger, but, my mind says to get a salad.
Can't you still leave room to say every once in a while to splurge a little bit?
Of course, everything in moderation, but but just don't go overboard. I mean, I had my cheat days then, but I just never went in overboard. I'd have a cheat meal, and just call it a day. It's not like I'm gonna ever not taste it again. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm in that process of really fighting for what I wanted at the time, and that was to lose weight and to really kind of figure out my triggers at the time as to why I was eating. And I figured out I'm an emotional eater. I eat when I'm upset. So that's when I'm like, all right, fine. But it really was, what I tell everybody is you gotta want it. You got to really want it and know that, you're going to have to face your fears and face some of those triggers as to why you're eating some of the things that you do, because again, it's like I said, it is about nutrition and putting the right things in your body.
Yeah. I was looking at the Tamara Hall show today, and she had Busta Rhymes on there today. And Busta Rhymes just went through a very life-changing episode in his life with his weight. And, he got to a certain point where he almost died because he had sleep apnea. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor had noticed that his throat was closing up on him because of his weight and stuff, and his palate had started swelling up on him. And so, he went through, losing weight and getting back down to where he is, But one of the things I noticed too, along with, eating right, and being a celebrity, he put the money into it that a lot of us can't afford to do. That's why, I'm very thankful, and I appreciate your story because, he's been using a nutritionist where she can prepare meals for him where he can eat every 3 hours a day, small portions. But all of us can't afford a nutritionist to handle our meals. And so, listening to you talk about you went to a 99-cent store and you picked up the foods that you needed on a small budget, that's awesome, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's awesome.
I mean, to be honest with you, it was just part of the survival. I was unemployed at the time too. So I couldn't afford a gym, gastric bypass surgery, any crazy diets, anything like that. I mean, it was literally, I had an unemployment check. I'm like, okay, you got to make this work.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, let's go. And I mean, like I said, I couldn't go to Whole Foods because they took my whole check. So I have found a 99-cent store. I'm like, okay, you can do this. And I had to suck it up, and but I turned on so many other people to the store. That's why they made me their brand ambassador. They were like, okay,
it's mind over matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you have the desire to do something, you're going to do it. Okay. You didn't let any obstacles get in your way to keep you from doing it. You went out. You found a way. You said, okay, this is what I can do. I'm gonna meet my goal. I'm gonna reach my goal, but I might have to go around the block. I might have to take I-10 to get to I-5, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. So someone always told me, if you push a mountain, eventually it'll move.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what I learned. And I just put those blinders on, and I'm just focused. Just dead on. And I knew that I just said, okay. And then once I started to see the results and the efforts that I was making, I'm like, oh, let's keep going. I mean, that was my motivation, just to keep going every day. And I'm like, okay, you got this. You can do it. And then like when the pounds started working, and then once I found that routine and that fitness routine that worked for me, it was as far as incorporating the walking, because I got up every morning at 7 o'clock and did it religiously. Just 7 o'clock, rain or shine, got up, put the headphones on, and walked out the door. And that was the exercise routine for an hour and a half, 5 miles, up to 5 miles. And then figuring out the nutrition, like I said, no nutritional background whatsoever. Grabbed a food pyramid and said, okay, everything on here good, everything else bad.
Hey, look, you went and did it simple. You were talking about the food pyramid. I just remember now, we learned all this stuff in junior high school.
That's what I'm saying. I had to break it down.
Yeah, we learned it. They gave us, when we were in school as youngins, they gave us what is the 4 food groups, the 5 food groups? They gave us all that information. So look, I'm
a visual thinker. So I had to see,
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you could take and put Weight Watchers and Nutrisystem out of business, okay? Because all we have to do is use the tools that have been given to us, okay? The food pyramid or food charts have been out there for ages, okay? I mean, we're older men now, and we had this stuff back in school when we were in elementary and junior high school. That's what we talked about in health class, okay? The different food groups, the vegetable, meat, and poultry, and dairy, and everything. We learned about that stuff.
That's it, but we never put it into practice. And then once I saw it, I'm like, it is there for a reason. And I'm like, learn from it. So I'm like, all right, everything else you learned before, put out of your mind. Yeah. And just focus on this. And again, what I saw visually, okay, I see fish, I see eggs, I see, okay, what can I make? I can make a spinach omelet. I started mixing and matching with the pictures on the pyramid chart. And I'm like, okay. And so once I found something that stuck, you know, I'm like, okay, let's keep this going. I mean, and then another thing is too is finding those meals that you can eat on a daily basis, no matter what.
Right.
Because you have to meal prep get your stuff organized. But you know
Right.
what I'm saying? But finding those meals that you can eat no matter what, you're like, okay, I'm sick of chicken after the 100th piece of chicken, but all right, let's have it again.
Have you had the opportunity to go out in the community in the area and talk to, you know, go to the churches or the community centers?
Oh yeah.
Talk to the people there, because that's one of the biggest problems in the African American community is eating, like I said earlier, eating healthy. So have you been that ambassador to go out there and say, look, this is how I did it. Let me show you how to do it on a low budget.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits that I got to do with working with the 99-cent stores, because they were located in urban communities, which was something that I was thankful for, because it did offer, you know, some form of a relief, you know, for people in the community. But as far as like recipes and stuff like that, I'm like, all right, let me show you how to work with what you got. That unfortunately, that have not, I've done that a little bit on a small scale with the 99-cent store and the Heart Association. But as far as grassroots and stuff like that, really getting out there and really sharing it, not yet, but maybe I will. I might start something like that, yeah.
You got a great story, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
People need to hear it. So I mean, you need to think about being a grassroots ambassador. You know,
I'm working on it. I'm doing a lot of other things too, but you know. But I really do. I mean, part of the purpose is, you know, and I'll share with you and your audience. I am working on an unscripted reality TV show that's in the works right now. So, and that will hopefully be able to get to a larger platform, to be able to share the story and be able to help others at the same time. But I really want to get in with the community and speak to them, get in with them churches, like you're saying, and really be able to help people. You know what I'm saying? Because we really need to start being a little healthier.
Yeah. You know, again, when you finally get your reality show together and get it off the ground, you know, you'll have to come back again and tell us about it.
Oh, coming soon.
So, you know, let me know. You know, let me know. I can get you back on here again. We can talk about it again. You know,
I would love to.
Get you in the magazine, but we're going to talk. You know, we're going to talk more offline. We'll still be talking about some things I want to do with you.
Oh, please.
So
I got one more thing. Go ahead.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I've got one more thing. Obviously, you keep seeing this hat that I'm wearing.
yeah, tell me about
it. It is the new animated series that I'm doing called Electric Negro.
Okay. And what is it about?
It's in development about a young teenage African-American boy that develops the powers of Electric Negro, and having to fight only the name, but fighting crime, going from selfie to selfless. Basically, he's a social media obsessed teenager, but he wants to go from selfie to selfless and be the best that he can be.
Oh, we got more to talk about, man. You got you gonna have me get through the year with shows and stuff. I can get a couple.
Hey, no. But actually, no. I'm really excited about it because I call him the unapologetic, thought-provoking, controversial, and hilarious new animated series that I'm working on. I've got Denzel Whitaker from Black Panther involved. AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys is also a voice. But yeah, I'm really excited to be having the opportunity. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking to you about that again, and looking forward to seeing it, you know.
Yeah, but right now it's about being healthy. It's a new year, a new you.
So, in closing, what advice can you give people? Give me some words of wisdom for my audience.
I'm gonna say this again. Actually, you know what? Now I'm gonna give you three things. One, take care of your health and wellness. And two, focus on your goals and dreams. And three, without any of those everything needs motivation, whether it's your health and wellness or whether it's your goals and dreams. So check out Balancing the Scales, but stay motivated and positive. And remember, if you want it, stay healthy, stay safe, and always be electric. And that's where you got to remind yourself and stay positive. And remember, whatever goal you're focusing on, whether it's relationships, your weight, your health, whatever it is you're going through, just remember you can get through it. If you got the will, you've got the want, and you've got the desire, you can do it.
Amen. So for my guests, for my audience, you've been listening to Papa Joe tonight. Not Papa John, but Papa Joe. Okay, you got Papa John in pizza, and you got Papa Joe on the health field. Okay,
Yes.
and guys, hold that book back up again, Papa Joe, so people can see the book.
There you go.
Go to
Amazon.
and order Balancing the Scales and read more about his journey.
It's a quick read. It's a very quick read.
Yeah. Papa Joe went from 400 pounds down to where he is now. If you can do it. He didn't have to go out here and hire no nutritionist, no one to cook his meals every day. He didn't go to the gym. He walked. He did the simple things of life, and he balanced the scales. Okay, yeah. So this is a great story. You can go to YouTube too and look up his name. He has a short YouTube video there. You'll actually see him doing he parachuted out of man doing it up. Okay. Then you can also see some of the people that he's worked with, as far as celebrity cooks that he was able to be. He was on their shows, okay, talking about eating right, living, following the food chart that we all learned in elementary school, okay. So the man got some good stuff, okay, some good nuggets. So I want everyone to tell your friends about this show. They can pick it back up, later on Urban Sentinel Live. They can also catch it on YouTube at a later date. Hey, Papa Joe, you got what's your website, man?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a website people can look at and get information from?
Yes, you can go to my name, papajoeaviance.com, or you can check out Electric Negro, electricnegro.com. But the health and wellness stuff is health and wellness. Please go to papajoeaviance.com, or you can check out the YouTube channel, or again, Amazon.com for Balancing the Scales.
Yeah. So he's made it easy and simple for you. Okay. So go out and support him. Okay. Please support him.
Thank you.
And while you're supporting him, you're gonna lose some weight, and you're gonna learn how to have a healthier lifestyle, because we really need that in the African American community. We don't do well with that, and we know that. We got to do a better job. If we want longevity in life, we got to do the things that we have to do. And one of the things.
Right. No, you're 100% right. Thank you. That's exactly it.
And with this virus out here too, that it's more important to eat healthier, have a healthier lifestyle than ever.
Mask up.
We got to block this thing here. We got to do it right. Okay. Yes. So look, we want to thank Papa Joe for being a part of the show. Now, if you want something a little hard hitting, I want you to join me tomorrow night at 8:30 again for our hour-long show, Real World News, with my co-host Sharon Tapper to be with me, and we'll be looking at and digging in the political scene, that's things that have taken place in this country for the last month or so. A little more hard hitting. This show here is easy going. We get to meet people, get to pick up some nuggets and get a little bit of wisdom. So join us tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Real World News. Again, come back here next Monday night. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, you can like us on Facebook at Urban Sentinel Live. Around Saturday or Sunday, I'll have the posting of the next guest up that we're going to have for next weekend. But again, I want to thank Papa Joe Aviance for being with us tonight, for leaving some nuggets, giving us a little wisdom on how we can better ourselves in 2021 as far as having a healthier lifestyle. Papa Joe, take care. We'll be talking. We'll be getting together. Yes. Good luck to you, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you very much. Now stay safe and healthy, and always stay electric out there.
Okay, and my guest and being with us, and I appreciate my guest, and I appreciate my audience, and I appreciate my guest, Papa Joe. Hey, wishing peace and blessings for 2021. Take care now. Good night.